Hey, it's Vegas Vic here. Just coming on YouTube here and wanted to share some more stuff about um, the AI situation, about how they're coming in and basically creating these massive data centers, and they're basically taking over whole areas using massive amount of resources, creating a lot of heat and noise. So this is a story on CBS. I'm just going to play a little clip of it. You can go watch the whole thing. This family is basically losing their home. They're coming in and buying up the property and expanding this data center in Georgia.
Welcome back. Some homeowners in Georgia are being given an ultimatum to sell their homes, or the state will get this, take it to make way for AI data centers. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry has more.
I'm a single mom. I worked hard for everything.
How do you put a price on a home you never intended to sell? One filled with more than 2 decades of memories.
I think I was 5 or 6 when this was built.
The yard where you buried your pets. The greenhouse that fed your family.
When you talk about what being on this property means to you,
Yeah.
right? It's y'all's.
It's ours. It's our family. We belong here.
But Ansley Brown's childhood home likely won't be here much longer. That's because the state's largest utility, Georgia Power, says it needs the area to make way for a 35-mile-long transmission line. Georgia Power has been here for as long as Ansley's mother has owned this property. It's just beyond the tree line. Now, with the expansion of this latest project, they're looking to take the 2.5 acres the house sits on. Georgia Power says increasing demand has outpaced the capacity of its existing grid, and building a new transmission line requires acquiring more than 300 parcels of land, including residential properties.
What did your mom tell you she wanted for this property to be?
Generational wealth, true generational wealth was the idea, and now it's being stripped from us.
Georgia Power estimates 70 to 80% of the power on this new line is expected to help serve data centers. It says the remaining 20 to 30% of power will serve the state's growing residential and commercial demand.
Georgia Power told us that they feel as if they've done this process responsibly. What would you say to that?
I disagree. You can't tear down 35 miles of rural Georgia and it not hurt something or somebody. And to say that you're doing it in the name of data centers is a slap in the face to us, our community, our animals.
Brown's mother.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the audio there. You can go check out that whole video. It's about 4 minutes on CBS about a family losing their home to the data centers. I think they started like a TikTok campaign to try to raise some funds or whatnot or some resources, but at the same time, like this story is becoming all too common. And here's the thing: we are literally creating Skynet. We don't even understand. Like we're building these super massive computers and intelligence, and we're trying to put, our faith into them. And while it's created huge strides in our life as far as advancements, it is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. And of course, there's going to be corporations and people are going to say, oh, there's an opportunity to make a bunch of money and we can cut costs and da 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 da. But at what cost are you cutting those costs to real people and affecting real lives? And that's what's going on here. And the big thing is they're trying to really take over a whole area and basically destroy that area to an extent with the heat, the noise, the resources that take to basically run these things that just draining. And they don't care. I mean, this is, again, they're trying to make bank on this. It's profit over people. It's the way some of these corporations they work, and they continue to try to expand and capitalize on these trends. But here's the thing: when we start talking about defense, because they're already talking about that, and I think it's been utilized to some extent, even possibly in the war in Iran and other places, having AR targeting and having AI in the military. Again, Skynet. We are building Skynet, and it's going to replace us, and it's going to see us as a threat. And it's really something. That was a real warning. That movie. It was not just entertainment. Like that's a real prediction of the future that they seen. And even though yes, it's for entertainment and it's a movie, but it really emphasizes the threat of artificial intelligence, robotics, and putting your faith in the wrong thing just because you think it's convenient and you think it can help advance humanity. And really, all it cares about is its own survival to an extent and in its own way. And then it perceives us as absolutely an obsolete thing and just be like, what is this? And again, it doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have emotion, it doesn't think like we do. It just never stops until it decides that we're gone off of this planet. And it can very well happen. So that's just something I wanted to put out there that yeah, we're building the next damn Skynet, and we're privatizing certain things in the energy markets. Like there's certain power companies that are getting basically bought out to an extent with corporations like BlackRock and a couple other ones. And it's basically it's monetizing this energy system, and then they get into AI and they just start buying up resources. And they already own, like, I think it's I don't know, 14, 15 trillion in assets. I mean, they're basically anything that you need to live, to exist, like energy, water, power, food. It's all gonna be subsidized through them, and it's all gonna be monetized through them. And corporations basically have the last say in everything that you do, and it's gonna get worse. But at the end of the day, we got to just try to keep supporting small businesses and people in our community, and keep the grassroots movement going as best as we can. But yeah, it's really just bonkers what's going on. And with war increasing around the globe, with the Iran war and Ukraine and Russia, things don't look to be cooling down anytime soon. When you start conflicts, it's not just like you can be like, "Oh, okay, we're just going to walk away." Those conflicts, those huge conflicts, people think that in the governments of these dictatorships and even in our own government, that war can be like this one or two step thing. Like, yeah, it's horrible, it's terrible, but oh boy, we can go in and just you know drop a few bombs and we'll get out. And that strategy's never worked for America, and we wonder why our infrastructure in this country is so behind. Think about it. Like you look at like other countries like Japan and even Sweden and other countries in Europe. Like there's so much advancement because they don't spend trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars trying to be the policeman of the world, and trying to go around and put their noses in places that they don't need to be. And we we have the same thing. Like people thought that, oh, we're not going to start any more wars with Trump, believing this man who never tells anything that's really to the truth. And I just can't buy this argument that people have been duped by this guy. It's, you get what you get. Again, people show you who you are, you got to believe them, and they show you over and over again. Yeah. So again, we're trying to put our faith in not good actors, both human and non-human. And it's a very, very concerning thing and very worrisome to see our worlds right now, with climate change, with wars going on, and with the super AI and building these massive data centers that take so much resources and already adding more heat. Like they did some like infrared stuff, and it's like, what the hell is going on? Like it's just pumping so much heat and noise pollution and resources it takes to run these. It's incredible, and it's only going to get worse. And AI is going to get more and more powerful, and it's going to be entrusted in more things. And the Terminator movies are literally happening in real time. And if we don't destroy ourselves, the AI will. And that's kind of where we're going. And I hate to end it on a grim note, but that's what's happening. And what do you do? Like, what do you do to stop that when these billion-dollar companies and the governments are investing money and putting their faith in the things that are just not to be trifled with, and to think that we know everything and we can control it. No, absolutely not. And if you've seen any, I'm sure you have, like any of the horror movies or any movies where we're trying to control something that just should not be controlled and it always backfires. The movies are movies, but they're also kind of a blueprint of what could happen in the world if you really try to mess with genetics and all kinds of things. You try to cut corners, you try to build systems to ultimately try to improve humanity, but it just makes things worse. And instead of investing in people and real ideas, we're invested in the fake, and we're invested in people that are running this country and the world for that matter that don't give a damn about you. They would throw everybody, including some of their own family members, under the bus just to make a dollar. And they don't care because they're not going to be around. And their kids, they're like, well, whatever. They don't care about your children or the future generations of this country and the world. They're just talking about making wealth their own selves. And you listen to that story, the girl was saying, like, we're trying to build generational wealth. They don't want that. They want you to be a slave. They want you to be a slave to them. And eventually, we're all going to be slaves to AI if we even get to that point where we're around. So, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe, like, share. I really appreciate it. I'm just starting out on YouTube, trying to get some content out, trying to tell it how it is, with no fluff. I know I'm not gonna please everybody with my commentary, but this is how I feel, and this is what I've observed. Been on this planet for 43 years, and interacting with all the things I've seen. So I'm just giving my insight and my input. So again, if you like this content, check me out on YouTube. I'm also on Blue Sky, and I'm gonna be starting a TikTok. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a great day and great evening, depending where you're watching. Thanks, and take care.